All right, time taking a look at the KELOPA Ultrasonic Humidifier. Okay. So we got 6 screws and we've got a base plate. So I'm guessing that we only need 4, which is good because I like having extras. So I'm going to line up this hole with this peg. There we go. And then screw that in. I suppose you could probably just set this thing on the floor as is, but the plate is going to just give it a little bit more stability. Okay. All right, so this whole thing is just a tank. So we can see we actually have a water level indicator here, so we can see exactly how much water we got left. And it has a safety drain hole in the back, so that way if the water level goes too high, you're not going to have to worry about it damaging the equipment. So as long as you don't fill it over top of this line, you'll be fine. So this is the main control unit. We got our power plug, so I'm going to guess that's about 4 feet. And then we've got our pump. So this is just going to sit inside the tank, and it's going to allow this to pull water into the actual humidifier unit. That's pretty cool looking. So we of course got the cover on top. And so this is where it's going to vent. So we can just rotate this around to whatever direction we want that to go. On the back, we've got this. So this is a little container for essential oils. So you can just take a couple drops of essential oils and throw it in here, and then the mist that comes out will have that scent added to it. So pretty cool. Pretty neat. And then here's the top of the unit. You can just pull that straight out. And if we wanted to, we could just add water directly to this, and it will go into that hole and then drain into the tank. So we don't have to take this thing off every time we want to fill it. But what we don't want to do is add water here or inside this tank. So we want to let this thing fill as it's needed. So one thing I do really like about this is it has this. So this is a UV light, so it's going to sterilize the water that's coming out of it, which is something I really like. Not all humidifiers have that. This one does, so that's great. Let's go ahead and fill this thing up and see how it works. All right, so I filled it about 1/3 of the way. So this thing holds a lot of water. You can be able to run this thing for a long time without having to refill it. All right, so right now the pump is filling up the chamber. There we go. So that is currently running. So it's kind of hard to see in this light, but it's definitely putting out some humidity. So it's currently showing that it is at 40% humidity and 25 degrees Celsius, and it's going to keep on cycling that display for us. So we can change the humidity. So we can take that all the way up to 90% humidity. And what that's going to do is it's going to run this thing until the room reaches that humidity level, and then it will stop. So that way we can keep a constant humidity level. Right. So right now it just shut off because we're already at 40% humidity. Let's go ahead and turn that back up to 45. There we go, and it kicked back on. So if we turn on sleep mode, that will flash a few times and then it will shut off the display. So that way, if we're trying to sleep and we don't have any light in the room, we can use that to make that happen. So that's cool. Okay, so there's 3 different levels. So right now we're level 1, level 2, level 3. And you can see level 3 is putting out quite a bit of mist. Then we have a timer. So we can set that to 1 hour, up to 12 hours. So if you wanted to, you could set this to 8 hours, go to bed, and then when you wake up, you don't even have to worry about it. It'll just automatically shut off on its own. So that's nice. And then we got the UV light. So there's a little indicator that popped up right here, but we can see that the UV light is currently running. So that's good. So what that means is if you're worried about bacteria or anything like that, especially like if you're already sick, you don't want to be adding that to the room, you can turn that on and you can clean the mist that's coming out before you actually breathe it in. So that's really cool. I really like that. So yeah, overall, that's a very cool humidifier. It's probably one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. And the fact that it holds this much water, this thing's just going to keep on running. So that's awesome.